dynamics of the national politics change, all eyes are now on the parliament session that convenes in the late afternoon today. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has made it clear that he is all set to face resistance against his government, while the warring faction led by Pushpa Kamal Dahal has claimed to dethrone the Premier through a no-confidence vote. Amid all the political drama, NC Chief Deuba has expressed his reluctance to lead the new government. Good morning, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. The much-awaited session of the reinstated House of Representatives convenes today. The Hal Nepal faction gears up for a no-confidence vote to unseat the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Oli reiterates he will face the Parliament. Claims of having majority in his favour, Opposition Chief Deuba clarifies he has no intention to lead the government. Myanmar asked neighbouring India to return several police officers who crossed the border seeking refuge after refusing to carry out state orders. And Daniel Amate scores a late winner as Leicester City comes from behind to beat Brighton, boost their bid for Champions League qualification. The first session of the meeting of the reinstated House of Representatives convenes today. The House of Representatives that was dissolved by President Bidya Devi Bhandari on 20th of December on the recommendation of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli was later reinstated by the Supreme Court on 23rd of February. President Bhandari has scheduled the meeting for later today following the Supreme Court's direction to conduct it within 13 days. The ruling party has been practically divided since the dissolution of the House of Representatives. The convening of the parliament at a time when the Nepal Communist Party is unable to split legitimately has been viewed with significant interest. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli is attending the meeting as a leader of the parliamentary party. Meanwhile, the parliamentary party meeting of the Dahal Nepal faction had chosen Dahal as the parliamentary party leader, removing Premier Oli. Meanwhile, Chairman of the lower house is scheduled to read the session a letter from President Bidya Devi Bhandari as it kicks off at 4 in the afternoon. This will be followed by a letter from the President's office regarding the cabinet formation. Likewise, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli is scheduled to present an ordinance on amendment of the Constitutional Council Act. Home Minister Ram Bahadur Thapa is scheduled to present 3 ordinances during this session. Prime Minister and ruling NCP Chairman KP Sharma Oli has urged lawmakers of his faction to actively participate in parliamentary activities. Speaking at the meeting of his faction at the parliamentary party held at his official residence in Balwatar, the Premier said his faction had adequate number of support at the parliament to face any resistance. Premier Oli also claimed the disgruntled faction would not be able to file a no-confidence motion. Premier Oli's faction has claimed the parliamentary party meeting held yesterday was attended by 115 lawmakers from both the upper and lower house. Interestingly, according to the Chief Whip for Oli faction, Kim Lal Bhattrai, the attendees included 91 lawmakers from the House of Representatives and 24 from the National Assembly. However, one of the attendees stated the number were 111. The Dahal Nepal faction had claimed their parliamentary party meeting held on Friday was attended by 115 lawmakers. Altogether, there are 223 lawmakers from ruling NCP in both the houses. The Dahal Nepal faction of the ruling Nepal Communist Party has been piling pressure on the Prime Minister to step down from his post. The faction is also doing its legwork to form an alliance with opposition parties to file a no-confidence motion against the Premier. However, amid rising questions, President of the main opposition Nepali Congress, Sher Bahadur Deuba, has clarified he has no intention to becoming a Prime Minister at this juncture. Analysts say Deuba's remarks are a political statement rather than his unwillingness to lead the new government. Speaking at 2 separate events held yesterday, Deuba clarified he did not have any intention to participate in the race to become a Prime Minister. Deuba's remarks come at a time when the ruling party is yet to split officially and that several leaders, according to sources, are putting efforts to bring the two factions together. Likewise, top brass leaders of the main opposition too have been urging Deuba to refrain from joining the government. It may be recalled that Deuba has served as the Prime Minister for 4 times so far. The first batch of coronavirus vaccines under the COVAX facility is scheduled to arrive in Nepal today. According to the Health Ministry, 348,000 doses of the Covishield vaccines made by Serum Institute of India are expected to arrive as the first consignment. Under the COVAX facility, Nepal is to receive 12 million coronavirus vaccines for 3 in various rounds. The government expects to vaccinate 20% of the population under the COVAX facility. Likewise, the government is set to begin inoculating individuals under the second priority list from today itself. 2 reputed businessmen in Rajbiraj, the district headquarters of Saptari district, have run away after collecting 200 million rupees of the local residents in the municipality. The 2 brothers, identified as Sanjay and Sunil Sindhi, were running an IME service at the Gajendra Chowk and also involved in real-time market. However, the Sindhi brothers shut down their office all of a sudden last week, and it was later revealed they had already sold their properties. Some 16 people have filed complaint against the 2 brothers at the Rajbiraj police station. Police have suspected that the number of people filing complaint in the coming days might increase, which might also increase the volume of embezzled amount. Saptari police, meanwhile, have intensified their search for the absconding brothers. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked local residents in Sindhupalchok why have the judicial committees failed to meet the public expectations despite the lapses of 4 years. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
झगडा भयो भने नगरपालिकामा जान्न पर्छ भन्नुहुन्छ तर हामीलाई विश्वास लाग्दैन हामी पुलिसकैमा जान्छौं
राजनीतिक पार्टीको लबिङ भएर अनि अर्को चाहिँ अब यो त्यो जुन न्यायिक समितिका मान्छेहरू अलि क्रियाशील नभएर पनि त्यस्तो खालको चाहिँ समस्या देखिएको छ
आफ्नो पार्टीको मान्छे हेरेर काम गर्छ चित्तबुद्ध फैसला हुँदैन
दुवै पक्षलाई चित्तबुद्ध काम हुँदैन त्यही भएर पुलिसकहाँ जाने बाध्यता हुन्छ
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. Here's the question: what should be done to retain the original state of the Bagmati River? Your options are A. Restrict using its water elsewhere, B. Treat drainage water, and C. Might not be possible. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.